Hi guys, welcome to another exciting episode of Let's Talk. My name is Farida, and with me I have
I'm Adenike.
and
Uncle Jamie.
okay, yeah, Uncle Jamie, because
as I said.
So basically, today we're going to be arguing about depression.
Are we arguing or we're just talking
We're
about
arguing.
We're giving our standpoints
Giving our opinions
on what do we think about depression.
And so, okay, what's your opinion? What do you think?
Okay, to start with, I would like to give a brief explanation on the whole depression. So when we say depression, what is depression? Depression is actually a mental health issue which comes as a result of some distortions in the human brain as a result of overthinking, prolonged sadness, and several other things. So I think basically that's depression. It's actually an health condition. You don't just
Depression
wake
is
up.
not a health condition.
Okay.
Then what is
Basically, it's an idea in your head. See, let me tell you something. Everybody's born with a will. God has blessed you. Giving birth alone to you as a person is a blessing.
Okay.
So, if you find yourself in a particular condition which you don't like, you don't need to be sad about it, because you said it's one thing about being sad and all that. You don't need to be sad. You can bring yourself out of it. You don't need to be sad. You don't need to create that depression in your head. It's just a state of mind that we human beings tell ourselves that we're depressed, because I feel for you to be a human being, you have the will to bring yourself out of every scenario.
Okay.
So if you're telling yourself you're depressed, I feel you're just putting yourself in a kind of a mental prison.
Okay, so basically what you're saying now is if someone says they are depressed, so are you saying the person is being weak or being
basically.
cowardly? They are not
we
facing
handle stuff differently,
exactly.
We're not the same. We are
wired differently.
Yes.
Yes, that I understand that
Yeah.
every human being is wired differently. But look at it. If we keep telling ourselves this every day, that you're wired differently, that's an idea, another idea you're creating in someone else's head, that, oh, okay, it's normal to be depressed.
It is very normal.
Yes, it is.
Why is it normal for you to be depressed?
Because why don't you say having malaria is just a thing in your head?
It's not a thing in your head, because even by human structure, malaria lives in your body. The drugs you take suppresses malaria.
Do you know there are actually drugs that suppress depression? Have you heard of fluoxetine?
Yes, I know. I know
Yeah,
there are drugs.
they're
So why are you now
antidepressants.
saying that it's all in
It's
our
still
head?
an idea you create in your head.
So why should drugs? Why do we have psychiatrists? Why do we have therapists? Why do we have all this?
Hold on. Let me explain something to you.
Okay.
Have you heard of psychiatric doctors that commit suicide?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, I think I saw this tweet
Why
on
do they
Twitter.
why do they commit suicide?
Because they are humans.
Exactly. The same human being can bring, as a human, you can bring yourself out of depression. My own ideology, though, I know everybody is not strong, but one thing I'm trying to let you people understand is this: as long as you have the will, as a human being,
Okay.
I don't believe that anyone should keep him or herself into a mode called depression.
Okay.
You have what it takes as a person to succeed in life. Yes, I know all fingers are not equal. But you can't sit in one place and expect, oh, okay, because I'm depressed, God is going to do this, God is going to do
Okay.
that.
Sorry.
You need to bring yourself out of that mood. There is nobody that will help you. You see these drugs that you keep saying they're antidepressants and all that were created by human beings. Let me take you back into the olden days. Have you ever had, do people, all those forefathers that stay in the village, do they ever go through depression?
Do those people not commit suicide?
Most of them don't commit suicide because of depression. Most. I'm not
So
saying
why
all.
do they commit suicide?
They don't.
They
They
commit
commit
suicide.
suicide.
So why do they commit suicide?
Now, are you telling me that being depressed is a natural thing?
It
It's
is.
a natural thing.
It actually is. It is a mental illness.
Like I said earlier, everybody have their own personal ideology.
Okay.
I don't believe in depression.
You do not believe in
I
it.
don't believe in it.
Okay. Definitely. Just like you can't, I cannot force my own belief down your throat.
Yeah, sure.
What you believe is your belief.
Yes.
Definitely. But somehow, I'd like to sort of convince you
Okay.
that this thing is actually not just in the head as you think
Okay.
it is.
Give me an
Because-
example.
Wow.
Yeah, give me an
Okay.
example.
A practical example,
Yeah.
I'm actually on antidepressants.
Why?
Thank you. I actually had it rough growing up,
Okay.
parental issues and all of that, blah blah blah,
Okay.
and all of that. Then at some point in my third year, that's in my
Okay.
300 level, I had different things not going right for me, relationships with people and all of that, blah blah blah. In my 200 level, going to my 200 level, I lost an uncle,
Okay.
and from there I started having these bad palpitations, like
Okay.
I can barely sleep at night, my heart keeps
What was the
beating
reason,
and all of
basically?
that. So I think apparently I was just living in fear of a lot of things. Like,
You were living in fear of a lot
A
of
lot of
things.
things.
I like that statement. You were living in
I'm
fear.
talking about myself.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
talking from my,
Yeah.
I'm giving a practical
Mhm.
example of my own self.
Yeah.
Ordinarily, I may have not believed that maybe all these people that come out and cry that I'm in this state, blah blah blah, that maybe they're just being extra, or maybe they're just making it up. But I've walked down that shoe. I am walking in that shoe, and I know what this thing exactly is.
Mhm.
Like at some point, I was actually on admission in a psychiatric ward sometime last year, yeah. And I was like with a lot of people who had similar case and worse cases. And then if you hear that story, you know that this thing comes as a result of them finding themselves in situations they do not know how to handle, and they actually picked up bad coping mechanism, which is affecting them. Some of the bad coping mechanism that people pick up that often lead to depression is probably the feeling of not being able to bring yourself out of that dejection.
Yes.
When you're sad, you can't help yourself. Then somehow you find yourself wallowing. Then
Are you saying when you find yourself wallowing, like some sort of low self-esteem?
yeah, it comes with it. When you actually have some problems, sometimes when you have some issues face you, you start second guessing yourself. And then you start thinking, probably I'm not enough, probably something is wrong with me, blah blah blah. Sometimes you actually feel like probably I've offended God, or maybe God is just punishing
Hold on,
me,
but
or whatever.
You know, I said something earlier. I said it's an idea you create in
In your head.
Sorry to say this. All these you've mentioned,
Okay.
to me, it's still an idea you create in your
In my
head.
head. Okay.
Like I said, as a human being, you have the right, the will. Immediately God created you, you have the right, you have every will to do whatever you want to do. And nobody has the right to hold you down, to tie you down into any mental suppression.
Definitely.
Sorry to say, you said your uncle died. You went through this, you went through that. But have you ever sat down one day and you told yourself, I can do it? I don't want this to affect me. I don't want that to affect me.
If I am not saying, if I am not telling myself,
Wait. It's
okay.
a will.
If I am not telling myself I can do it, bro, I will have slitted my wrist.
Hold on. That's why I said it's an idea in your head.
See.
Get that thought off your head.
The
Get
thought,
off.
you make it seem like this thought I can just wake up and be like,
Yes.
bro, today I'm gonna be happy. Why did I not think about that before?
Because
It
like
is not
I
as
said,
easy as you're making it sound.
Yes.
You make it seem like
Hold on.
it's
Just
a
chill,
mask to
chill,
put
chill,
on or
chill,
something.
chill.
Something we can control.
Chill. I said something.
Okay,
I'm speaking for myself.
definitely.
If I, on the other hand, can tell myself that I will not let this affect me,
Okay.
I don't want to start saying a lot of things that might seem controversial. I've been through a lot of things.
Yeah, sure.
I
Like every
never
human.
allowed those things affect
Affect
me.
you.
It's a choice. to make.
Like we said earlier, we made a point. Everyone is wired differently.
Yes.
You can
But at
actually
the
go
same
through.
time-
Okay.
Everybody has a will.
You can actually go through a certain issue and you're like, this thing would do me, but then we move, It's just
Normal.
one of the things that happen in life. Not everybody can do that.
I know. I
Some
said
people-
something. Hold
okay.
on, don't get me wrong. I said everybody has the will.
Okay.
You have the right to make a choice in life. Everybody has that freedom of expression. You have the will to wake up in the morning and say, okay, I don't want this to affect me. I don't want that to affect me. Everybody has that natural will. It's not something that comes to you and you feel, oh, okay, you have to reject yourself or you have to deny yourself of. You have the will and the choice to make your decisions yourself.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
And apparently, I think it has, to me, if we're to relate it with Africa generally, we have this very funny way of our parents bringing us up.
Yeah.
They make us believe in certain things. They make us believe in certain ideologies. They download certain things into our mindset.
Definitely.
At the point, I went through the same. But I told myself that no, this is wrong. This is what I choose to do. This is how I choose to live my life. This is where I choose to be. I had a lot of things going on when I was growing up as a person. But I made something to myself. I told myself no. It wasn't easy. But I didn't allow it to weigh me down to the extent that I'll be depressed. I told myself, no, this thing is wrong, this thing is wrong. It doesn't matter if the whole world feels the same, because everybody lives in a revolutionary analysis where you feel because certain uncle, certain mother, certain father, certain uncle or sister told me this, it should work out.
Like that. Okay.
That's why I said you have the will to make your decisions. I lost somebody recently, and when it happened, I still went to work. I told myself I will not allow it affect me. Death is inevitable.
Yeah. Maybe.
We have to accept it. Some of my colleagues saw me at work. I was like, guy, you're not crying. Or so. I was like, no. It has been stated you are going to die at
You
some
social
point.
distance.
Yes. Then this thing happened to the person. Yeah, the person was quite old. And I told myself, I will not allow it to affect me. It doesn't mean I don't have a heart.
Yeah, sure.
But I didn't allow it to affect me. I know people that might start feeling, oh, okay, for like a week, they won't go out, they won't do this. But why should you put yourself through that mental suppression?
I don't feel like it's their own way of handling things.
Exactly. It boils down to that fact that we handle things
Why?
differently.
Okay, see.
Why?
Okay, I'm gonna talk for myself. Yeah, I'm gonna talk for myself. Yeah. Okay, so personally, okay, we look at it that if something happens to me, I do not boot immediately.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool, it has happened. Yeah,
Later.
fine. Then it takes me like 2-3 days. Then I start to break it down. I'm like, what just happened?
At that point where you start breaking it down, is a will, is a choice that you made.
Nah, I did not make the choice. The choice forced itself upon me. I did not make that
How
choice.
did the choice force itself upon
I cannot
you?
control it.
Ah, God.
I cannot control it. Amen.
I feel like you're like this because of the way you were brought up.
Exactly.
This so
I
don't
made
know.
the choice myself. It's not
No,
some-
like,
see,
okay, through your upbringing,
Yeah.
probably in the course of your upbringing, you were like put in a situation where you had to make a lot of choices yourself.
Yes, you have
Exactly.
So, okay, so you've actually made your own choice and you've shaped yourself
I
to
wasn't
be
really,
that way.
I wasn't really kept in a situation where I need to make my own choices. I was made to believe that I had to make my choices myself.
Yes.
Not
You
everybody.
don't-
Okay,
not
me,
everybody was brought up. that way.
Personally, I was brought up in a way that I had people making choices for me and forcing the choices down my throat, even if I don't want to. So you're living the life of what I want and what they want. It is depressing because sometimes you're like, I don't really want to do this, but you just have to do it. So sometimes I actually, okay, like someone that doesn't want to study a course, but is actually having to study that course because that's like the only thing you can get, or maybe that's what my parents want or whatever. Do you know there'll actually be some days that you'll be like, damn, I don't want to go to class today.
Yes, I understand.
But if the interest was there, you'd be like, no,
You
I
know,
want
said,
to be
I
this.
said something earlier. I said
the
something
way.
earlier. I said it's the way, basically, we do things in Africa. Where your parent gets to wake up and tell you, this is what I want for you.
Yeah.
But outside there, you see a child at the age of 5, 6, he or she can tell you, this is what I want.
Yeah.
Because they have the ability to choose. You've seen situations out there where a child will wake up and be like, okay, my parent doesn't, this is what my parent want me to do, but I don't want this.
Yeah.
But basically in Africa,
You have to do what your parent
you have
wants.
to do what your parent wants. That's why I
What
said-
your family are
your
like, even
family-
those that are not
that's why-
feeding you.
That's why I said something. I said, to me, it's something you create in your head. If those people out there can actually wake up and tell their parents, imagine in Africa today, even for the fact that our parents are always tying us down with school fees, I'll not give you pocket money this. Imagine if you wake up in the morning and you tell your parent, Daddy, I want to be a footballer, and they support your dreams. Daddy, I want to be a tailor, and support your dream. Okay, let's put it like, imagine if every parent supports everyone's dream.
Mhm.
Don't you think the world would be a better,
Better
place today?
place. Yeah, definitely.
A lot of people will not go into depression. I'm not saying it will eliminate it totally, but
At least to a large extent,
Yes,
it
because-
will be reduced.
because when you talk about depression to an extent, let me just speak outside the box. It goes around with education,
Yes.
relationship, marriages, and all that.
Yeah, financial
Okay,
status,
financial
social
and all
status.
that. So now
all
imagine
of that.
if everyone was meant to make their decisions. You choose. This is what I want. A lot of people.
This
not
is how I
depressed.
want to. Okay, so why do you think? Okay, so why do you think, if you think that okay, there's nothing like depression or whatever, blah blah blah, why do you think people use drugs? Why do you think people get to the point of suicide?
That's hold on. At that point, that is when the person has lost hope. They feel they've lost hope. That is why it's so easy where people feel they've lost hope and all that. They'll be referred to somebody with a higher IQ, a counselor, who might be able to successfully talk them out of it.
So why are they talking them out of the situation?
Because those people, if I'm to use my own ideology, because those
Because they
people believe-
they mentally imprisoned themselves.
Yes.
Nah.
Okay, see, I feel like this whole depression thing, we can't finish talking about it
Definitely.
today. So
Definitely.
basically, maybe we can do this next time.
Yeah.
So, thank you guys for watching, and we hope you've learned something.
And whatever it is you're going through out there, there's somebody that
Yes.
understands. Do not kill yourself. Do not do drugs.
Don't cut yourself.
Don't cut yourself.
Don't use
Don't
drugs, though.
self-harm.
Man,
Don't take any rash decision. And
Because you have the will to make yourself a better person.
Yeah.
That's just my advice
you
to
can. You can. If I can do it, you can do it.
so please don't forget to like, subscribe,
Subscribe
and
and-
comment.
Live a good life and be happy.
Thank you
And
for watching.
we love you.
Bye. Yeah.
you. I love you
don't-
small. Just small.
Bad guy.
Bye.